Hello everyone, welcome back to DT Live channel. So in next couple of videos, we are going to see some of the important concepts in data structures and algorithms. First, let's have a look at sorting algorithms, and in this video, we are going to see how bubble sort works internally. For that, I have taken an array of elements 30, 40, 10, 20 and 2. So all you need to do is just sort this array in ascending order, and we are going to use bubble sort to implement that. So how bubble sort works internally is that each element will be compared consecutively and it gets swapped if the element is lesser than the next consecutive element. So at the end of pass 1, let's say 40, which is highest element in this array, will be pushed to the rightmost part of the array. Now let's see how each pass or each iteration works. In the first iteration, 30 will be compared to 40. Since 30 is lesser than 40, no swapping is required. Again 40 gets compared to 10. Since 10 is lesser than 40, both the elements get swapped. We will be having an array 30, 10, 40, 20 and 2. Again 40 is compared to 20. Both the elements get swapped. 40 is compared to 2. And at the end of pass 1, we will be having an array 30, 10, 20, 2 and 40. As you can see here, 40, which is the highest element, is pushed to the rightmost part of the array at the end of pass 1. So still we have elements 30, 10, 20 and 2 which are to be sorted in ascending order. So in the next pass, 30 is compared to 10. Elements get swapped 10, 30, 20, 2 and 40. Again 30 is compared to 20. Both the elements get swapped. Again 30 is compared to 2. And again 30 is compared to 40. So at the end of pass 2, we will be having an array 10, 20, 2, 30 and 40. So the highest elements 30 and 40 are pushed to the rightmost part of the array. Still we have elements 10, 20, 2 which are to be sorted in ascending order. So in the next pass, 10 is compared to 20. And since 10 is lesser than 20, no swapping is required. 20 is compared to 2. Swapping happens. 20 is compared to 30 and 30 is compared to 40. So at the end of pass 3, we will be having an array 10, 2, 20, 30 and 40. Again 10 and 2 should be interchanged for the array to be sorted in ascending order. So in the next pass, 10 and 2 gets compared and 10 is compared to 20, 20 is compared to 30, 30 gets compared to 40. So at the end of pass 4, we will be having an array which is in sorted order. That is 2, 10, 20, 30 and 40. So as you can see here, the number of passes required for doing this comparison is 4, which is n minus 1. Since the array length is 5, which is n is 5, so number of passes required is 4, which is n minus 1. Now let's see how we can implement this in code. So I have taken this class in which in the main method I have declared the array 30, 40, 10, 20 and 2. And I have a sort function for sorting these elements, a display function for displaying the elements. Now let's start by declaring a temp variable for sorting. And let me find out the length of array. Now let's use a for loop which starts from 0 which goes up to n minus 1 I plus plus. So inside this for loop we require one more for loop for doing the comparisons. So let's say for int j equal to 0 which goes up to n minus 1 j plus plus, and here you need to swap the elements. Temp equals to array of j. First you need to check the condition. So in case array of j is greater than array of j plus 1, swapping occurs. So temp equals to array of j equals to array of j plus 1, array of j plus 1 equals to temp. So this is a normal sorting, like this is a normal swapping which we do using temp variable. So here what you can do is that you can optimize this code. Now let's see how it can be done. So at the end of pass 2, we'll be having an array 10, 22 and 30. As you can see here, 30 and 40 are already sorted in ascending order. Now we have to sort the remaining elements 10, 20 and 2. First 10 gets compared to 20 and 20 gets compared to 2. So we'll be having an array 10, 2, 20, 30 and 40. Now 20 is not really required to be compared with 30 and 40. Since 30 and 40 are already sorted in ascending order, 20 is not really required to get compared with 30 and 40. So at the end of pass 3, we will be having an array 10, 2, 20, 30 and 40. And again in the pass 4, 10 and 2 gets compared and it gets swapped like this 2, 10, 20, 30 and 40. And this 10 is not really required to get compared with 20, 30 and 40 since they are already sorted in ascending order. So at the end of pass 4, we will be having an array which is in sorted order. So by this I mean that the comparisons are not really required with the elements which are already sorted in ascending order. So all you need to do is just make this change here, n minus 1 minus I. So when I is 1, say for example, j will be n minus 1 minus 1. So which is nothing but 5 minus 1 minus 1, which will be 3. So at the end of pass 3 itself, the comparisons are not really required to be done with the remaining elements which are already sorted in ascending order. So one more optimization you can make here is that if in case at the end of pass 3, say for example in the current pass we have 10 to 20, 30 and 40. In case at the end of pass 3 we have elements like 1, 2, 20, 30 and 40. The elements are already sorted in ascending order. So it is not really required to go for pass 4. So no more comparisons or swapping is required. Hence you should break the first for loop. So for that you can make change like this. You can declare a flag variable. So here flag will be 0. And in case if this for loop executes, that means swapping has happened. So flag gets incremented. In case if this for loop is not executed, that means no swapping has occurred. So you need to break the loop. So here you need to check for a condition, flag is equals to 0, then you need to break the loop. And now let's see what is happening while running this code. As you can see here, the array gets sorted in ascending order, which is 2, 10, 20, 30 and 40. So the given array, which is 30, 40, 10, 20 and 2, gets sorted in ascending order and it is displayed as 2, 10, 20, 30 and 40. Now let's see how time complexity is calculated here. So in the best case, that is, if no swapping is really required, if the array is already sorted in ascending order, then no swapping will be happening. So in that case, the loop will go up to n. So in that case, the time complexity will be big O of n. In case if the array is not sorted in ascending order, if in case the array is in descending order and you need to sort it, in that case the array will be iterated for n minus 1. Again the array will get incremented, like it will be iterated for n minus 1 time. So on total it will be n minus 1 into n minus 1, which is nothing but n square. So in average and worst case, the time complexity will be big O of n square. So this sorting algorithm is not preferred for sorting the elements. So for that, the best algorithms used are quicksort and merge sort. We'll be covering up in next videos. So this is all for this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hit the like button, share, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you all in my next video. Bye.